Okay, morning Rory, welcome.
Morning.
Your fifth Ryder Cup before the age of 30. Just start with giving us your thoughts on the week ahead and being part of this European team.
Yeah, I mean, I've been excited for this for basically since the last day in Hazeltine, whenever we weren't the ones that were spraying champagne for a change. So yeah, I've been excited for it. You know, I've really loved being a part of the process. You know, the dialogue I've had with Thomas over the past few months has been great, and seeing the team take shape and everyone that's played their way on. It's exciting. You know, it doesn't seem that it's been that long that this is going to be my fifth Ryder Cup, but they've all been wonderful experiences for different reasons, and I'm sure this time will be no different.
Thanks, Rory. We'll go straight into some questions. If you'd like to use the microphones and raise your hands. Start with Doug on microphone 3, please.
Rory, in the times you played in the Ryder Cup, what have you seen as the strength of Europe? And in part of a twofold part, if this is said to be a strong U.S. team, in your mind, what makes them strong?
Yeah, I think that the strength of Europe has been, you know, we all get behind one another, and you know, even whatever differences we may have, we put them to the side for this week, and we're a cohesive unit, and that's the way we try to be. And I think that's obviously served us well for the Ryder Cups that we've, you know, had success in, you know, especially in the you know, the last few years, going back to, I guess, the Belfry in '02 and all the way through. It's been Europe has had a pretty good run. Obviously, there's been a couple losses in there as well, which is to be expected. You're playing, you know, the best players, not just in America, but you know, they're you know, most of the best players in the world. So obviously, you're going to win some and you're going to lose some, and we've won a little more than we've lost the last few years. But as you said, the American team is very strong, and I think again, you know, the dynamic of the American team has become a little more cohesive in the last few years, and I think that's to do with the younger guys coming on board and really embracing the Ryder Cup and making it a very important part of their careers. And they, you know, you've seen, you know, Jordan and Ricky and JT and, you know, those guys, they hang out together, they spend a lot of time together, and you know, it seems like the togetherness is just a little bit more there than it maybe used to be back in the 90s and early 2000s.
Go to Rick on microphone 4, please.
Rory, you obviously played in big Sundays before, but I just wonder, was there any element of intimidation on Sunday?
That East Lake rough was really tough. Yeah, that was the most intimidating part about it. Started hitting a few drives left and right early, and you know, I didn't actually have quite a good view from the trees on Sunday. I couldn't really see what was happening too much.
Question, mic 3 down the front.
Hey, Rory. Can you remember your first shot in a Ryder Cup on the first tee, and can you talk about that dynamic, about how different that is, that feeling that goes through your body, and going forward, this is the largest gallery you're going to ever have on a first tee here. What do you make of this setup here?
Yeah, good thing it's an easy tee shot. Celtic Manor, I guess I didn't, you know, going into my first Ryder Cup, I didn't know what all the fuss was about. You know, I still thought it was, you know, this team event that really doesn't matter in the big scheme of things. And, you know, I was more concerned about individual titles and all that. And once I got onto that first tee on Friday morning, I thought, oh, this is a little different than I expected. I was very nervous. I still get nerves on the first tee no matter what tournament it is. So that's something that, you know, maybe happens to me more than other people. I don't know, but it's nerve-wracking. You know, you try and put your ball on that tee, and you know, it takes you a couple of times to get it to settle on there. And I'm sure Friday morning, if I'm playing, will be no different. It's a huge grandstand. You know, playing a practice round yesterday, you know, there was basically no people in it, and I still got goosebumps looking at it and thinking on Friday this thing's going to be packed. So. Yeah, I'm excited for that. It's become one of the very special things about the Ryder Cup is that first tee experience on Friday morning.
I'm going to microphone 4. Is it Brian?
Two things. When you hear that U.S. hasn't won over here 25 years, is that surprising to you? And secondly, what's the challenge, aside from maybe the crowd differences, of playing on the road in the Ryder Cup?
Yeah, I mean, it is surprising. 25 years is a pretty long time. I guess that's, 12 Ryder Cups. It's tough. I mean, I think playing on the road is increasingly becoming more, increasingly difficult with how partisan the crowds are and how the crowds get behind their teams, and that's all a part of it. It's the same thing in any other sport. You have road games that are very difficult. Yeah, I don't know how, I think thinking back to Medina in 2012, like we were 10-6 down on, it was a long shot that we were going to win that, and we ended up doing that, which was very special. But that could have started a run of, home victories for each team. And yeah, I don't, it is tough, and the adjustments, I think not having that week in between to recover, coming straight from the, I think I counted something like 17 of the 24 players came straight from the Tour Championship last week. So, getting in on Monday and obviously we have the extra day. We're not starting until Friday, but it's the journey over, and then a little bit of jet lag built in, all that sort of stuff. You need to do the right things. Yesterday, today, tomorrow to be able to play on Friday. So I think that has a big part to do with it. And then, we do have a little more control of the golf course. The way Hazeltine was set up is not the way this is set up, which is not the way Medina is set up. So, there is certain differences that you can try to do to play into the home team's advantage, I guess.
Microphone 2 on the right-hand side, Rory.
Morning, Rory. I want to ask about one of the 5 rookies, John Ram. You've played quite a few rounds of practice rounds during the year with him. I believe there's even a fair chance that you might even get to play together this week. Could you tell us what can we expect about John? Do you think he can follow the steps of the great Spanish players that have played so well in the Ryder Cup? Thank you.
I certainly hope so. He definitely has the fire of a Seve, and he's got that passion that the Spanish are known for. We've had this WhatsApp group going, all the Ryder Cup players and vice captains and captain for the last few weeks, and I've been pleasantly surprised at John's input into it. I guess I only met John a couple of years ago, but the first time I heard of him was through the college system in the US. He lives in Arizona now. It's and he's obviously very friendly with a lot of the guys on the US team, especially the ones that live over on the West Coast. Tim Mickelson was his college coach, so he's very close to Phil. So to see how much he wants this and how he cares about the Ryder Cup and how proud he is to be European and to be Spanish and to really be a part of this it's been really cool to see. I wasn't quite as vocal in my first Ryder Cup as he's been, but I wasn't as good a player in my first Ryder Cup as he is. So I'm expecting some great things from John this week. I played 18 holes with him yesterday. He seems to be playing really well. And if we do play together at some point, that would be something I'd really look forward to.
Question on microphone 1.
Rory, is there a general characteristic of a European Ryder Cup course or European Ryder Cup setup that makes it different from what you usually see when it's in the U.S., or does it all feel just completely different every time?
Yeah, I think it plays, you get punished if you hit it offline. I feel like at Hazeltine, the punishment wasn't high enough if you hit it offline, and I guess that sometimes plays into some of the Americans' hands because they have guys that just hit it so long, and you can stand up and wheel driver. And that's not like I'm probably one of those guys, so it doesn't quite play into my hands. But I think for the bulk of the European team, it would be a little bit, they'd welcome a setup more of this style. I'm not saying that the American guys can't hit it in the fairway. They're all some of the best players in the world. But I think just looking at it, it would seem this style of golf course is more familiar to us than something like we saw at Hazeltine last time.
I'm going to stay on microphone one there.
Rory, you obviously had a close-up view of Tiger on Sunday. How much do you and the rest of the players relish the challenge of playing Tiger? And do you think, bearing in mind he's obviously not had a great record in the Ryder Cup, do you think we might see a slightly different Tiger Woods, bearing in mind what he's been through over the last few years?
Look, this week he's won a 12. We're not looking at any individuals. We're just trying to beat the US team. It's great what he did on Sunday. It was great for golf. It brings a lot of excitement to the game. But I think to focus on one player is silly, especially when I mightn't even see him this week at any point because I mightn't be on the course with him or play against him. So I don't really want to speculate how he's going to play or what he's going to do. I think it's great for the US team that he's in the mix, and it's great that it's given their team a little bit of momentum coming over here. But we're looking to beat the US team. We're not looking to just beat Tiger Woods.
I'm going to microphone 2, Phil, please.
Rory, you're obviously still clinging on to your 20s, and there's quite a few players in this team that are in their 40s, but do you feel that you're a leader again this time, and are you happy to take that role this week?
Yeah, look, whatever the guys want me to do, or whatever Thomas thinks my role should be, that's what I'm going to play. I'm sure I'll be one of the leaders. I think you've a lot of great players on the team that have played in a lot of Ryder Cups and will put their hand up to be one of the leaders and to try to lead by example. Justin Rose, who was number 1 in the world there just a couple of weeks ago, FedEx Cup winner. Sergio Garcia, Henrik Stenson. Guys that have played in a lot of Ryder Cups and have had a lot of success individually and in team events. I'm just one of those guys. So I'm one of 12. I'll do whatever I can to help the team. And I just want to get ready and get prepared so that when I tee off on Friday morning, I'm going to be ready to go and ready to play 5 if needed.
I'm going to microphone on the left-hand side.
Rory, Thomas yesterday was speaking about how Ian Poulter has this great rapport with the fans, but that Sergio's strength lies in the team room. Can you shed light on that, on what makes Sergio such a great asset for you guys in the room this week?
Yeah, I mean, I think just everyone loves Sergio, at least in our team room. So, he has been the heartbeat of our team for a while, and he has been a constant. And I think a lot of these Ryder Cup teams, it's about continuity and sort of bringing the same mindset to each one. But he's great. He's fun-loving. He likes to have fun. He never lets the environment or the atmosphere get too serious. And I think that's one of the big things about European Ryder Cups over the past few years. We haven't, we've basically left any sort of egos at the door, and no one's allowed to have an ego or even I know some of the guys talked to you about the video that was played for us the other night, and some of the sketches and impersonations of all of us, and I mean it's brilliant. It's great to be able to poke fun at yourself, and I think the more you can keep that atmosphere in the team room, the better. And Sergio is great at bringing that atmosphere into the team room and just bringing that dynamic to everyone else.
Microphone 3 down the front.
Belgium newspaper. You had last time in Hazeltine, you had a great pairing with Thomas Pieters. How do you look back on that moment, and who would you like to have your new partner?
Yeah, look, it was it was a weird one because Thomas and I didn't actually play a practice round together at Hazeltine. It was sort of a bit of a throw us together at the last moment and see how it goes. But we knew that the way we both play the game, our games matched up pretty well, and it seemed to work. You know, it obviously did work. We played great. We won the 3 matches that we played with each other, and yeah, I mean, I'd love to find another partner that that I could go so well with again this week. And you know, I'm not going to give away who we're going to be playing with or our pairings or anything. I mean, you'll see who we practice with on the course each day, and you know, you can figure it out from there.
I'm going to have to go to the last question at Tim right at the back.
Rory, the adrenaline level in your match with Reed was clearly off the charts. I wanted you to speak to whether you were surprised you could play golf at that type of level when you were both so jacked up.
I could play it for 9 holes, and then it suddenly hit me. The level sort of declined after that. It sort of reached its crescendo on the 8th green, and then the last 10 holes wasn't quite as good. But you know, I look back at those videos, and I look back at the last Ryder Cup, and it wasn't just Sunday. It was Friday and Saturday. I mean, surprised I had a voice left at the end of the week. It looked tiring to have to play golf like that for 3 days. So I think I learned a lot from that, and learned that, you know, it's good to get excited, and it's good to, you know, to have that. But at the same time, if I need and have to be called upon to play a late match on Sunday or whatever it is, I want to have all my energy in reserve so that I can give everything for 18 holes, because I did hit a wall that back 9 on Sunday, and it cost me.
Okay, Rory, thanks for joining us. We wish you well this week.
Thank you.